Welcome back, all you Fabricans and Fleshbags, to the super, not funny show reviews. And today I'm reviewing Velma episodes 5 and 6. They are entitled Marching Band Sleepover and The Sins of the Father and Some of the Mothers. And they're coming to you from HBO Max. So, what did I think about them? And should you be watching? Before we get into the review, get down there, hit the like button on this video. Well, I'm back again for another review of Velma. Reluctantly, but you know what? I'm taking one for the team on this one. This week finds Velma in these two episodes, still trying to figure out not just the murderer, but what it has to do with her mom's disappearance. Trying to make some kind of connection with her dad, and also trying to figure out what the heck's going on with Norville now that he's got a girlfriend. And just Velma all around being a horrible person. Like this show, I think I've said before, this is an Am I the Asshole made into a TV show. But it could be more of a, it could be more of a situation where someone thinks they are the hero when they're really like the villain. And I feel like that way with Velma. She has a startling moment of clarity and self-reflection in the 5th episode when she asks herself, or she asks, Norville, aka Shaggy, or she says to him that you're a better friend and a better person than I am. And I was just like, well, no shit. Like, you've been a horrible person, judgy, just super full of yourself, and just all around doing terrible things the entire show. Yeah, that's a no-brainer. It's weird that it's taken her so long to get to the point of realizing, yeah, I suck. But of course, that's not going to stick around too long because character progression. But either way, just quick recap: the first episode, there's a band sleepover that gets canceled because there's a curfew. So instead, Velma chooses to have it at her place. Why? Because she has selfish, ulterior reasons. Because Norville's in the band, and he's not talking to her because now he's got a girlfriend who's, basically telling him what to do. And what the things he told him to do is to stop simping for, Velma. And so she basically has everybody over, and while her dad's out, and then all sorts of shenanigans kind of play out. Fred goes, there's a curfew for everyone, but Fred goes to get pizza for everybody, because he's still trying to mac on Velma. Meanwhile, Daphne is trying to figure out what's going on with her parents, and she learns. Finds out who her parents are, which we saw her dad earlier in the show, who was in prison with Fred. And it turns out that there's this weirdly convoluted backstory involving, people who worked at the crystal mines who turned into robbers or whatever, and they were in Captain Caveman stuff. It's weird. It's some weird Hanna-Barbera, reaching back in the archive shit, and I guess it's interesting. It's interesting in the sense that Daphne finds out more about her. So, she actually, the more I see of her, I'm like, okay, I like her a little bit more and more. But so all that's going on, and she's like thinking her parents, her mother stole her, but really the main, she wants Velma to talk to, but Velma's all up in her own shit about trying to find out more about her mom and how she's connected to this, I guess brain neurosurgeon or something like that, and so all of that shit's going on, and it just turns into it's a big comedy of errors. And there's the band members are band nerds, and they turn into like not zombies, but acting like crazy people because they haven't eaten, and Velma basically has to be, she's horrible and selfish until she finally has to not be. And ends up in jail or whatever, and that sort of look, she ends up in jail. It's funny, and she meets Norville's parents there, the principal and the the school counselor, and it kind of get leads her to their next thing about finding out that Norville's grandmother was the doctor that may have something to do with her mom's disappearance. Okay, cool. And that's the one where she says, she that Norville's a better person. So the one after that, when it's called the sins of the father and some of the mothers. That's more or less kind of wrapping up or trying to find out more about Norville's grandmother and what she had to do with everything. And that leads me to probably I'd say the low point of this show. In a show full of low points, you figure you're in the valley, you've reached the lowest point of the valley, and somehow they managed to drill a mile deep hole for you to fall into of stupid. And the mile deep hole of stupid is introducing Scooby Doo into this world in the dumbest possible way. And that is that essentially Scooby is not a person, it's not a dog. It's a freaking government program from the 70s trying to figure out how to replace a human mind with from one body to another. It was failed basically by Norville's grandmother. And it's called Scooby, and it's a stupid ass acronym. I'm not even gonna fucking repeat it. It's dumb. But it gives Velma an opportunity to say what did Scooby do? And I just wanted to stop watching the show at that point because it's so stupid. The thing is, it's one of those stupid things that a bunch of people in a room throwing ideas around together. They just have they think that this is a clever little thing that we're all going to get the joke. Well, we get the joke. It's just not fucking funny. It's groan inducing, and I already know that if we do get a walking, talking, Scooby Doo, it's going to be because of this project that supposedly failed, and it's going to be dumb then too. Like it'll explain, yeah, sure, it'll explain everything, but it'll still be stupid. Like this, to me, I don't even want to call it lazy. It really is a bunch of people in a writer's room patting themselves on the back about a funny little pun or whatever that also can explain a talking dog. As if that shit needs to be explained. It doesn't need to be explained. Just run with it. Like I sometimes think they're thinking way too hard about this show, or about how they're trying to deconstruct it or whatever. They're trying to be way too clever. There's a lot of mean spiritedness to the humor, or just like real surface level shade throwing, and it doesn't reveal anything. If anything, it reveals again Velma sucks, and everybody else who started out they sucked on the show. They're getting better. Fred's a better person. He's putting up with crap from his dad in order to for some fucking reason to be with Velma, who's awful. He sees her inner beauty, and she sucks though. Daphne's cool. She's getting cooler the more we see about her. Okay, she's not bad. Hell, even in this episode, Norville, aka Shaggy, he decides, hey, I am being a beta. For whatever reason, someone wants to give a fuck about that. But he decides to try to be cool or whatever, and I guess he read an alpha male handbook or some bullshit like that. But it's funny and it's interesting. And at the end, he still turns out to be, he's too good of a person to be like a piece of crap like that. Cool. I like all of that. Even some of the other surrounding characters, starting to like them. Still, Velma sucks. That's the underlying thing. And if your main character sucks, all the stuff that's going on in this show, everyone else is becoming more likable except you. That's crazy. But on the upside, I mean, the mystery of her mom disappearing is interesting, and what it has to do with Project Scooby and all that. Interesting. That is interesting. So to that end, I will say that these episodes, aside from that Scooby bullshit, have been improving. I still don't think this show is all that good. But at the very least, it has become more interesting and has improved characters and all of that stuff. Uh, I think your mileage may vary on whether or not this is watchable, but at the very least, it is leading. It seems to be leading up to something of some interest. But I still would say probably don't watch this. Just say probably don't. Anyway, those are my thoughts on these episodes. What did you guys think about it? If you braved the episodes, what did you think about what I had to say? Get down to the comment section, leave your thoughts there. And of course, you can always hit me up, supernotfunnyshow@gmail.com or at supernotfunnys1 on Twitter. And do me a favor, get down there, hit the like button on this video, hit the notification bell, hit the subscribe button, all that good stuff. Helps grow the channel, helps more people to see these videos. All right, all you Fabricans and Fleshbags, thanks for joining me. Come back next week for the next installments of Velma. Until then, I've been Mo De Pape, resident fabricant and comic extraordinaire on all things pop culture. And I'll see you guys on the other side of the thread. Peace.